President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Vernon Hills for March 31st, 2025. Is there a motion to have a chairman pro tem for this evening's hearing?
I'd like to nominate Trustee Cook to be chairman pro tem for the duration of the meeting.
I second it.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Schenk.
Here.
Trustee Forster.
Here.
Trustee Marquardt.
Here.
Trustee Oppenheim.
Here.
Trustee Takaoka gave prior notice that he would not be in attendance. Trustee Cook.
Aye.
President Byrne.
Here,
Aye.
sorry.
Are we saying here? This was
Here.
for a motion.
Here.
Is this a motion or to open?
No, this,
This is it.
That was just a motion. That was a motion, right? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's aye.
Okay,
That's what I thought.
I'll say aye.
I was following the crowd.
I don't have Craig here to mess me up.
All right.
Okay, so this is the hearing on the, you want to address this, or?
I'll turn over to Director Lyons.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say a few comments here. So this is the public hearing for the fiscal year 2026 proposed budget. Notice of this hearing was published in the Daily Herald on March 19th. The proposed budget has been posted to the village website on the homepage for public viewing since February 21st. Further details of the proposed budget were presented and discussed publicly at the Committee of the Whole meetings on March 4th and March 18th. This budget will be considered for final approval at the next village board meeting on April 15th. A memo outlining any changes presented in the draft budget will be provided to the board prior to the final approval. For any member of the public who would like to provide public comment but was unable to during this public hearing, they can reach out to me anytime prior to the approval of the budget. My contact information is also available on the village website. Also, anyone can share their public comments at the next village board meeting on April 15th during the public comment section. At this time, the village is seeking public comments on the proposed budget.
Anybody have any comments about our proposed 26 FY budget?
Good thing it's not Halloween.
Okay, so should we
Motion
then?
to close the public hearing?
Okay, since there's no public comment, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Hearing is closed.
Okay, and we'll call to order then the regular meeting of the Village Board of March 31st, 2025. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Forster.
Here.
Trustee Marquardt.
Here.
Trustee Schenk.
Here.
Trustee Oppenheim.
Here.
Trustee Cook.
Here.
President Byrne.
Here.
And Trustee Takaoka gave prior notice that he would not be in attendance.
And is there a
We
motion?
have a quorum.
Yes.
Would everybody please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ally?
Is there a motion to appoint the chairman pro tem for this evening's meeting?
I would like to nominate Trustee Cook to be chairman pro tem for the duration of the meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Oppenheim.
Aye.
Trustee Forster.
Aye.
Trustee Marquardt.
Aye.
Trustee Schenk.
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Aye.
President Byrne.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. First item is citizens wishing to address the board. Is there anyone who wants to talk to the board about something that's not on the agenda later? Okay. Then, first item is, the only speaking part tonight is Finance Director, correct, about that? Or are you?
Yeah, I just had a couple
Okay.
comments.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, so in the omnibus agenda tonight, item I includes a capital asset policy revision. I just wanted to call out why we have this policy and why it's being updated briefly here. So this policy provides guidelines around managing the village's higher dollar assets with useful lives over 1 year. These assets include vehicles, equipment, buildings, and other similar items. The last capital asset policy revisions were done in 2008. The proposed revisions to the policy tonight considered law changes, government accounting guidance, grant requirements, and other best practices. If you have any questions or comments on this policy now, I can address them at this point.
Okay, comments or questions from the board? I thought it was very thorough. And pretty easy to understand, all things considered.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Right direction, right?
Anybody have any questions from the board? Okay, all right. Thank you for that revision. Nobody else from staff has a speaking part tonight? Okay. Then in that case, next item would be omnibus vote agenda. Is there a motion to approve items A through I?
Motion to approve A through I.
Second?
Motion a second. Any comments, questions? Anybody want anything pulled? All right, then roll call, please.
Trustee Forster? Aye. Trustee Schenk?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
President Byrne?
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Cook?
Aye, motion carries. There is no unfinished business, correct? So new business, we have one item, approval and passage of Resolution 2025-012, a resolution granting approval of 2 outdoor special events at Hawthorn Mall. Director Jennings?
Thank you. The mall was unable to make the meeting tonight, but given that the event is very similar to the pattern that they've established for the events along the Hawthorn Row, we agree that it would be okay to move ahead. And if there are any questions that I'm not able to answer, we can always have them come back at a later date. The site plan for these events, there's actually 2. They're very similar. They're proposing a Easter egg hunt related event and a Earth Day event. The Earth Day event, sorry, I'm looking for the 2 dates, April 12th and April 26th. Both on Saturdays. They're proposing food trucks, vendors with holiday-themed wares for one of the events, and then they've got a petting zoo planned for the Earth Day event. And again, these are very similar to other events that they've held along Hawthorne Row and at the plaza. The conditions are fairly standard for our conditions, that there be garbage cans and they clean immediately after the event. So staff has no objection to these. We do want them to just double check with the police and make sure that they have adequate security for both events. Other than that, I'm happy to attempt to answer any questions that you might have.
Now, this is all going to occur down Hawthorne Row there.
That's correct.
My only question, it's pretty pedestrian friendly. Will they have extra help there to make sure it stays pedestrian friendly with a crowd there, or?
That's one of the things that we do want them to review with the police, just make sure that as this area has become more populated and there are some stores open, that they do have adequate security in place.
Would it require special, if they want to, because my thought was, what if they want to block off that, vehicle
completely.
access to that section of that T for just that day or so?
They certainly could, and I can talk to them about that, and we can work with the police as well to see if that would be appropriate. But there is a way to get into the garage from the other side for the residents.
Okay. Other questions? Anything from any board member? Yeah.
And what the figure we're looking at here, it says interior bathroom entrance on the lower left there. There's no building there, though.
I think that the arrow is pointing to the wrong location. There is a way to get to an indoor bathroom over by Dave & Buster's that should be pointing up, not down.
Yeah, up north to the,
Talking about
up to the left instead of to that building that doesn't exist.
Whirls around, we'll get there.
This is an old plan from April of '23, so so the bathrooms will be inside of Dave & Buster's.
You can access the Dave & Buster's from that direction.
It's actually pointing to phase 2, isn't it?
It's pointing to phase 2, which isn't.
Not
You'd
there
have
yet.
to, you'd have to hold it a long time.
Yeah.
They gotta hold it, that's right.
Yeah, hold it along, but You need to wait for approvals.
Anything else?
No.
No, these look like good events, bring people. There's a lot of new stores open there, so that'll be good. If there are no comments or questions, then is there a,
Hey, Tom,
yes,
Chief have any concerns?
You have any-
yes, Chief's here.
You have anything?
Concerns about this special event?
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. We're going to have one of my commanders will be involved in the further planning, and specifying the kind of concerns that have been brought up.
Any idea what kind of numbers they plan on expecting? What kind of attendance you think?
It's all new.
I don't know. I can check with them and see how the attendance has been at the other events along Hawthorn Row. But this is probably the fourth one now that they've held, so I can talk to them all and get back to you.
Well, and this is the
Well,
first,
where's all the parking gonna be?
Parking lot.
I'm sorry, were you asking where the parking is?
Yeah, they got
yeah, there's quite a bit of
Yeah, what-
adjacent parking.
In front of Dave and Buster's.
Some
and
of the area in front of Dave and Buster's is open. Some of the surface area there is
And the
is
upper level
open.
by AMC and,
You're able to park where north of the part of the Yard House lot is actually available.
Yeah.
And then the commercial area on the first floor of the garage is available as well.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll be discussing these things, right? During the planning process.
okay,
All right.
any other comments or questions about this? Okay, then is there a motion to approve Resolution 2025-012, granting the 2 outdoor events at Hawthorne Mall?
motion to approve.
Second.
Motion a second. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Schenk?
Aye.
Trustee Forster? Aye. President Byrne?
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Cook?
Aye, motion carries. Okay, new business and communication. We have a couple of things. First of all, one of our former police officers and Army veteran and a very active person in town, Bill Wagner, will be going on an honor flight end of April to Washington. It's an amazing thing. Assistant Manager Petrillo, you have some more info on this?
Yep, staff has been staying in contact, obviously, with our retirees and obviously our past banner recipients, and then we did learn that one of our previous recipients was nominated and accepted to participate in honor flight. As you mentioned, Bill was a retiree from the Vernon Hills Police Department, and honor flight, for those who aren't aware, is dedicated to transporting United States military veterans to D.C. to see memorials related to service in defense of our nation. Bill will be participating in Lake County Honor Flight number 27, April 25th to 27th, 2025. It's our understanding that his wife has been reaching out to certain members of the board and staff, requesting what's called either a welcome home letter or thank you letter be prepared. So that's been distributed. The police department has one going around, and here at the Village Hall we have one as well. So if anybody'd like to sign, please let us know. We have a firm date to get it to him by April 16th, so he gets it on his return home. So we wish him a safe journey, and as always, thank our Vernon Hills veterans for their service.
Yeah, this is a well-deserved honor for Bill. Definitely. Any comments from the board? Okay. One other thing, notably, and you informed me of this, that niche listing came out, noting that Vernon Hills was #1 in Lake County, 4th in the Chicago area, and something, 46th in the country. I know we were in the second 25 group because I was looking at their,
40,
yeah, we were 46th, I think, in the country.
I thought we were higher than that.
Well, it was in the group between 26 and 50 because I had to go to the second page.
69th in the nation.
60.
yeah, 69th, that's
Yep.
right.
Yeah, so very, very exciting. As people are aware, this was on NBC Chicago, a niche which initially, I believe, had its roots in identifying top-ranked colleges, later branched out to identifying top communities. And they apparently evaluated more than 50,000 suburbs to determine the top places to live in the United States. Ranking data included categories of crime, public schools, cost of living, job opportunities, and local amenities. It's very exciting to see Vernon Hills ranked #1 in Lake County. So as we mentioned, 69th in the nation. So I would say congratulations to all, including our stakeholders, which include our school districts, our library district, our park district, and both of our fire protection districts, who contributed to helping the village achieve this ranking. Extraordinary. #1.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Well, an awful lot of people in this community work very hard to make this community I mean, that's why we have such great schools. We have the incredible staff we hear at the village hall, the incredible police department we have, the fire department. And everybody in the incredible park district we have. Everybody works together here, and it helps make it a much better place.
Absolutely, and as you witnessed, last week at a ribbon cutting for Yorktown Health, their CEO echoed what we heard at Northwestern Mutual. That when they were looking to expand their business, they interviewed 300 of their employees, and the employees wanted to live in Vernon Hills for the amenities. So it's very exciting to see. The business is excited about wanting to be here and relocate as well. But as you know, both of those took over vacant spaces, large spaces. So it's good to see our businesses wanting to invest here as well.
Yeah. Anyone else care to comment on this?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
It's great that we have this ranking. And guess what our challenge is, to keep us, with this kind of position going into the future. But, yeah, it's a collaborative effort between all the district taxing bodies, just to mention the residents. And a lot of good things have happened, and people want to live here, and that's excellent. So congratulations to everybody.
It's a team effort.
Yep.
Other than that, thanks.
Yep, it's a definite team effort in this community, that's for sure. Okay, anything else? Then if there's nothing else,
Just,
Yeah.
just a reminder that it's election day tomorrow.
Yes.
yes,
Just for government and school boards and everything. So just everyone, please take the time to come out and,
and it's easier than ever because you don't have to go to your specific precinct, is
Right.
that correct now?
That is correct.
You can go anywhere in Lake County and vote.
so,
So you don't have to take time out of your day to go, if you can go to the closest one, so.
Best way to phrase it is I was told by an official today that a person living in Antioch who works here can come vote, and he's good in Antioch for his voting.
Yep,
so
that'll make it
no
much
excuse.
easier.
The point is, there's no excuse.
That'll make it much easier. All right, anything else? All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn and go to committee of the whole.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we're adjourned.
All right, and lastly, I'd like to call to order the Committee of the Whole meeting for March 31st, 2025. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Schenk?
Here.
Trustee Forster?
Here.
Trustee Markwart?
Here?
Trustee Oppenheim?
Here.
Trustee Cook?
Here?
President Byrne?
Here.
And is there a motion to appoint the Chairman Pro Tem for this evening's committee meeting?
Once again, I'd like
Yeah.
to nominate Trustee Cook to be Mayor Pro Tem for the duration of the meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye?
Trustee Schenk?
Aye.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Forster?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Aye.
President Byrne?
Aye.
Motion carries. First item of business is approval of the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes of March 18th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is second. Any comments, questions, corrections? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Forster?
Aye.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Schenk?
Aye.
President Byrne?
Aye.
Chairman Pro Tem Cook?
Aye, motion carries. Second item is a concept discussion for Aged in Oak, 935 Lakeview Parkway, Suite 111. Director Jennings, you taking this one?
Thank you.
Okay.
So this is a multi-part discussion. This is a combination of the review of the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation on a proposed text amendment and special use, as well as a concept discussion of a liquor code change. Just by way of background, while this use is an interior use, the proposed Aged in Oak, which is a bourbon business, which would host weekly and monthly auctions, and then have a tasting bar, among other features, package sales on site, et cetera. It was a unique concept, so we brought it to the Committee of the Whole in February for a discussion. We knew at that time that it would likely require at least a amendment to the liquor code and likely an amendment to the zoning code. That turned out to be the case. So we worked with the petitioner from that point to craft a zoning code amendment. That amendment, along with the special use, then went to the Planning and Zoning Commission in March. They did recommend approval of it. The conditions of their approval, which are in the staff memo, were that the special use would be subject to the approval of the associated zoning code amendment, that a garbage corral constructed to the standards in the zoning code would be constructed within the southeast parking area, that the southeast parking lot should be repaired, seal-coated, and restriped within 6 months of occupancy, that a photometric study is required to confirm that the parking lot lighting is adequate, with additional lighting to be installed if needed, and that the floor plan shall be adjusted to allow the north entrance to function as the primary customer entrance and remove the overhead door. That last point was information that came out at the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing, and it changed a little bit how the staff had recommended the review go. So the original plan at the time of the concept was to have the main customer entrance come off of the southeast. That parking lot is not in very good shape, so a lot of our recommendations to the Planning and Zoning Commission related to that, improving the lot. So as they had indicated with the Planning and Zoning Commission hearing, that the north lot would actually be the main customer entrance. That lot has been recently repaired, restriped, and the lighting there is better. So less of a concern, hence the sort of shift to allow them to, the recommendation to allow them to open and then work on the condition of the parking lot afterwards. So that is the first part of this, is just a recap of what the Planning Commission recommended. They did recommend approval of the zoning code text amendment that's described fully in the memo, as well as the special use with those conditions. The second piece of this is the liquor license language itself. So the idea of this is to have the zoning code and liquor code complement each other. There would be a new class under this proposed code amendment for the liquor code. There would be a new class. The first class available is Class Q right now. The proposal is to have the language mirror the language of the zoning code amendment. So the term to be used would be tasting room. It doesn't necessarily have to be associated with manufacturing, but the idea in both the liquor code and the zoning code is that any unique features of that business would need to be identified at both the liquor license review and a special use review if it's required for that business. So with that, I would like to have the business come forward and reintroduce themselves and answer any questions that you might have for them. And I am, of course, available to answer any questions on the staff memo.
Yeah, I get the question. Andrew,
Yes.
how long do you think it's gonna, the village to take to get to the letter Z?
At this rate, a couple more years, probably.
Okay. All right. This is number 17 as far as codes go.
Yeah, we do have a few on the books that are not in use, and we recycled the N tonight, so it may slow us down a little bit.
All right. Are they here?
Yes.
Yep,
They're coming from.
coming up right now. Yeah, you could,
Good evening, everybody. My name's Doug Pantley. I'm with Aged and Oak.
Justin Pantley, Aged and Oak.
And James Hall, Aged and Oak.
Who owns the place?
Who owns the place?
owns,
All
Who
three of
owns
us,
the-
all three of us have interest in the business.
Okay.
questions, comments from the board, or anything else you want to add, Andrew?
So procedurally, this is a review of the Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation. It's also a review of the draft liquor license. So if the board is in favor, if the committee is in favor of this, the ask here would be direction to prepare ordinances for the zoning code text amendment, the special use, and then the liquor license code amendment. So that's the actual ask if the committee is in favor.
So the,
In
What
favor,
kind of-
not a vote.
so the
Been a
plan
while.
that,
Signage.
Sorry, go ahead again, Mayor?
It said what kind of signage?
Signage.
Thus far, what they had represented to the Planning and Zoning Commission is it would likely be window graphics. They do have a limited amount of wall sign area on the north side that they would be able to do. They would be able to apply for a sign permit if they wish. But so far, the answer has been that they intend to do window graphics on the front door.
so the,
We would also like to put some signage in the rear also, so we'll have signage. There's not a lot of room in the front, so we would put something on the glass. But in the back, we'd like to put something on the wall, probably to the left of the rear entrance.
So what facing, what direction?
North is the north.
So it would be the southeast entrance, the rear entrance
The
is
one
what I'm
facing
calling the alternate entrance.
Can we put up
facing,
the last page? Keep going, keep going.
But
That one.
Actually, if you go
This-
back,
That's, if you go
so
back,
that,
that's the north, that's the,
so this isn't correct anymore, this plan that we're seeing here? That's what I was gonna.
no, that's correct.
So what they had indicated, the change that was indicated at the Planning and Zoning Commission is that the north lot would be the main entrance. It wouldn't go into this office is what's shown here, so.
Correct.
That's what I mean in
right,
terms of.
right,
being-
right.
you
So
could be
that's what
walking
that
into an
condition
office.
of,
That wall would continue from the merchandise area, it would go across, so that entrance would,
That would be
become
the
a small little hall to get into the merchandise area.
So where do you want to put the signage then?
So if we go back to the last picture, so we see the rear entrance that's looking at us on that picture. Just to the left of that door, we would like to put some signage there also.
That's the wall facing towards PGA
That's-
Superstore
That is correct.
for a landmark.
Hey, who owns this building?
They're here. Gary Kaplan and Tony are here to answer any questions.
Okay.
Who owns the building?
Yeah, that's who he taught,
you just said,
the two gentlemen he just talked about.
I can't hear.
There are
Right.
two gentlemen here that are present, Gary Kaplan and the real estate broker, his name is Tony, are both here tonight to represent us. So if you have any questions in regards to the building, they probably can answer those.
So who owns the building?
I believe Gary Kaplan does.
Joseph,
Why-
can you come up to the
come
speak?
up, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Gary Kaplan. I'm representing the ownership,
And it's under an entity that owns the property. It's not an individual, it's under an entity.
Named,
NRF Vernon Hills.
Okay.
LLC.
okay. Okay. Other questions, comments?
So the southeast parking lot, what's your time frame? I know it says here, within 6 months of occupancy. Are you planning to do it before the summer or after this? What's your plan for the parking lot, according to P and Z?
I don't know. What's the question?
So P and Z is asking for southeast parking lot shall be repaired, seal coated, and restriped in accordance with the Illinois Accessibility Code within 6 months of occupancy.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that brings you the summer. The weather's applicable for that, so yeah.
okay.
The answer is yes.
And the lighting? Did you guys do the photometric study to determine if there's enough lighting out
I
there?
believe you're going to perform that. I can certainly do that, yes. Yeah, we're going to do that
And if you make adjustments if needed?
yeah.
Well, how many parking spaces do you need?
The only time we're going to need a large number of parking spaces is when we have a tasting or a pairing event there. And most of the time, that's going to be between 5 and 8 o'clock in the evening.
So the other businesses will be gone.
That is correct.
Okay, well, all right. Is there any covenants from the actual landowners and building? Is there any covenants to restrict signage and such?
Not that we're aware of.
Okay, well, what do you say, Andrew?
Yeah, staff is not aware of any particular covenants applicable to the property.
Okay.
Isn't there a monument sign for that whole development along Lakeview, I believe?
There are,
And another one on like Center Drive?
so each building in the development has a shared directory sign. So when you enter from up New Century and take a left into this part of the development, there is a shared monument sign. It's really more of a directory that says who's in which unit. And then the other building has, the other two buildings have a similar directory signs.
Would you then be part of?
We will update that to
Okay.
comply. Yeah, the name will be put on there and identified.
Finance Director Lyons, I have a question for you. Sales tax revenue, food and beverage, just sales tax, what is the breakdown?
Depends what they're doing as far as sales. Are we selling packaged alcohol? So there would be food and beverage on that, as well as general sales tax. Is there there's no food or anything with that or prepared?
No, any food that will be bags of stuff that will be for sale. If we have a food pairing, it'll be catered in. We will not be doing any food at all,
Okay.
so.
So I would say mostly alcohol under the food and beverage, as well as general sales tax.
I mean, to give you an idea in regards to sales tax, we're hoping to get upwards of 5,000 to 6,000 bottles a week. And if you look at a bottle is maybe on average $200 a bottle. If you take that and add it together, it's quite a significant amount.
So you're looking for like 1.5, 2 million sales a year. So are you doing online
That's
auctions?
That's 1 week.
No, but I was annualizing over a year.
Oh, okay.
So are you then looking to do, is it online auctioning then, where the point of sale is Vernon Hills then? Is that how that will work? So if they're buying in state of Washington from your online auction that's conducted in Vernon Hills, we get the point of sales tax then?
Absolutely.
I was checking my finance director here.
There's some nuance to this, and I think if it's sold here to a consumer outside of Illinois, I believe the sales tax goes to the location outside of Illinois. Because it would be consumed outside of Illinois.
Well, it would be similar to, well, CDW is a perfect example.
That's
There-
for shipments consumed within Illinois, to people ordering
Yeah.
from here
Yeah.
in Illinois. Yep. So if it's within Illinois, outside of Vernon Hills, then we get the sales
Right.
tax here.
Do we get this food and beverage tax if it goes somewhere else?
Well, it's not prepared for immediate consumption, but on the packaged alcohol, that is a good question. I'll have to get back to you on that. I believe the sale would still be reported as a prepackaged alcohol product at the point of sale here, and we would still get that food and beverage under my assessment at the moment. with that.
Yeah, no, you'll do the work on it.
Yep.
And so what percentage of your sales, two questions, what percent of your sales are online auction or online? And what percentage of those are out of state? Would you, now, is this your only location or do you have other locations?
No, this is our only location.
Have you done this before anywhere else or is this a new
No,
concept?
I mean, there's one
Okay.
other company that is currently doing this.
Okay, so it's hard to project, but if you were to project, what would you say?
If I had to project, I would say 70 to 80% will be in state, and the rest of it will be out of state.
You're actually putting the average bottle sale at $200?
Well, you have to understand something, that there's all sorts of different types of bottles. There could be some bottles on there that are $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 for one bottle.
Really?
Yes. So I'm just taking an average. I don't really know. It depends on a weekly basis as to what comes in the door and what goes on the auction. But I mean, there could be probably 3 or 4 pages, maybe even more, of stuff that's over $10,000 a bottle.
Then you're probably better off if you're talking about when you're using a median number rather than a pure average.
Right.
Because items like that will skew a regular average
Correct.
significantly. A median is a better,
Median, yeah.
so what
Sure.
would you guess probably the median bottles?
It's so hard to tell. You just don't know what's coming in the door. Very, very difficult to, I mean, there's gonna be probably, for sure, 40 to 70 bottles that are gonna be very high-end, and then they'll slowly ramp down to a $80 or $90 bottle. It's very hard to put a number to that.
Okay.
Where are you bringing them in from? When you say like, very hard to tell what's coming in the back door,
They-
so what's the process there?
They get shipped from different parts of the state. They are gonna come from different liquor stores on stuff that they wanna get rid of. There's all sorts of different avenues that'll be coming.
So it's like overstock, and then
Some of it,
and then
yes.
they're going to send it to auction.
Correct. Mm-hmm. There's 3 or 4 different,
And you're paying wholesale on it.
we're not buying it. All we're doing is providing the auction.
So
Piece of it.
you're on the commission side.
We're on the consignment side, yes. Yep.
Other comments or questions?
You bring any samples?
I'm sure that can be arranged.
So you can't just, you're not actually gonna be competing with like pennies.
Repeat that, Roger?
Are you gonna be like, are you gonna be competing with pennies?
Oh, competing against bidding.
No, we will not be involved in any of that. It's against the law.
No, competing with bidding.
Okay.
Oh, competing with Benny's? No, Benny's does not do this.
Are they one of your suppliers of overstock?
Not at the moment.
You don't have to answer.
No, not at the
Right.
moment, they're not, no.
Walk across the street and get their.
It's more of the mom and pop type liquor stores that we'll be dealing with, not the big conglomerates. So,
And individual collectors as well. People amass extreme collections, and it's not, you cannot
Right.
legally sell any bottles in your collection without a liquor license, which we will be holding. So they will be able to sell essentially portions of their select collections or all of it through
Correct.
us.
Yeah, it's the one thing you can't just go on eBay and do.
no, right, exactly.
Director
Exactly.
Jennings, you're aware of all that and that whole, what they can and can't sell, or how they, if somebody has, if I have a bottle I want to sell on auction, there's no, anything they have to do with the village?
Not, so with the state, they have to apply for an auction license every time they do one. So they're aware of that. You need both the local license and the state license, and the way the state license works, it's a event by event. So they're going to have to get in the habit of regularly applying for state licenses.
And we have a methodology of making sure,
We have contact with the state inspector for this area, and we have probably once a week some reason to speak to them.
okay, and so their license, if they don't, forgive me, if they don't file for a license and they have an auction, how would we know?
Well, what we can do is spot check with the state. The state is aware. We've already talked to the state about the business, so.
I'm not saying you are or going to.
No,
or
no,
will.
understand.
I just, we have to know where we're able to find.
Well, we're gonna keep a hard copy paper binder with all the permits. So if somebody wants to come in and take a look at it, they will be available. I've already talked to Kevin about this, and Kevin is fully aware of what we're doing.
Our Kevin or?
No, Kevin Crowley from the state of Illinois.
He's the state.
The Lake County Commissioner for the state of Illinois.
Well, I think we paper and digital records or something filed with the village, right? What's it? Oh. So, do we want digital records at the village for that stuff? The only reason I'm saying this, because this is unique. We don't have anything like this in the village.
Sure.
And I think it's something that, we just want to make sure we have all the information available, because it sounds like there could potentially be a lot of, drop-in inspections, because you're going to have a lot of auctions, and every auction needs a license.
Yep.
So we just want to make sure that you guys are staying.
It would be
Yeah.
a
In your lane.
requirement of their license that they continuously apply. So the village license language here does require them to comply with the state. And compliance with the state would mean getting an auction license every time they have an auction.
Okay.
And we can certainly work with them and spot check them.
I mean, I'm excited to see how this works. how
Yeah,
it works out for you. I hope
Kevin
it-
said he'll be stopping in to pay us visits, and we have to have, the permit has to be done 2 weeks prior before, we can do the online auction. So I've got a complete understanding of exactly what needs to be done. So,
And our chief of police, I'm sure will do drop-ins, or
Sure.
is someone from his team to check if they're carding, right?
yeah, but we absolutely will be.
Yeah, to that point, we do BASSET checks on all of our liquor establishments, both announced and unannounced, so,
And we are all Bassett trained already, so.
of course. Sure. Thank you.
I'm good.
So,
Yes,
are
sir.
you actually auctioning anything other than bourbon and whiskey?
We might have some tequilas or something, but it'll be a small amount. But I mean, it's basically spirits.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Where's your competitor? You said there was one other
There isn't a competitor in Chicago.
in Chicago. And are there similar businesses in other states all across the country, or, and you're the
Not
only-
like this. There are very high-end bourbon auctions. When I say very high-end, $3-4 million bottles. Nothing like this. We will be the second one in the country.
Really?
Yes.
So you said
At some point,
3,000
we wanna-
bottles a week?
Yeah.
That was way off.
2 to 5,000 a week.
It's like $30 million in sales a year, right?
Yes.
Good
We
for
will
you.
start we will start slow. Our first auction will not have 5,000 bottles, so do not sign on to our first auction.
It's gonna be 3 of us.
And see 200 of them on the first auction, but we project to grow to that. That is, we want, yeah.
Maybe we'll move up from 69 to 43 in the niche rankings, because we have,
Got great parks and we've got
Pickleball and,
whiskey auctions.
Well, all you need is one bottle of 20-year-old Pappy Van Winkle, and you're at $2,000 or $3,000 easy.
Easily, correct,
Yeah, easily.
correct.
Trust me.
We were just
I
awarded,
get emails a kid.
getting off topic a little bit, we were just awarded the first single barrel pick out of RD1, out of Lawrence, Kentucky, that we are going to do on Thursday. And we will be eventually, once we get the liquor license, be bringing that back here to sell. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
how did you guys meet? Not like where did you, how did you guys come together as a group here?
Well, this is my son,
Father, son.
Oh, okay.
and James and I work together in the field on the construction side of things. I've had a business.
Construction, currently.
Good for you.
I've had a business in Vernon Hills for over 20 years,
What business?
PowerLink Electric,
Oh, over on, in Corporate Woods,
correct.
the yellow sign where the baseball place is next.
Yes, correct.
So you're that guy.
I'm that guy.
Used to be that guy.
He used to be that guy, yeah.
Okay, so what's the board's pleasure? Should be, what you're requesting is,
Consensus?
Yeah,
Consensus
consensus
to
on,
go.
on a direction to prepare the ordinances consistent with what's in the staff memo.
Yeah, good to go.
I'm good.
This is a special niche.
Mayor, you want him to go forward?
Very good.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
I'll drink to.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, everybody.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. There is or is not anything for close?
No closed session.
No closed session tonight? Okay. Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole.
So made.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned for the evening. That was
Thank you again, gentlemen. I tell you, you think.